Welcome guys, my name is Misty/Connexia and welcome to Katawa Shoujo. This is a game, as you can tell by my mouse. This is basically something different that I'm going with. Normally making a video take me about 40 hours when I do a top 10. These won't stop, and neither will anything else. It's just gonna, well, the opening Mondays are gone, but they're gonna be replaced by a lot of more stuff, and this is just something simple that I can do. It doesn't take much time. Let's just go through this before. Disable adult content. I'm gonna keep it on because it is providing some extra material, I guess, but I will be censoring the heck out of it because it's YouTube and not YouPorn. Okay, we cool on that. I think it feels more complete if we have everything, and if I consider it to be uncensorable, then I will just cut everything. So this is not scripted, it's something completely randomized that I'll do. It's a visual novel game, so it's gonna be me reading with my soothing voice. A light breeze caused the naked branch overhead to rattle like the wood in wind chimes. This is a popular retreat for couple. I'm gonna let this intro roll out as I keep talking over it. You guys can keep pausing the video or read it as I go through. I already read that part, so I can cover the rest of the introduction. And I was told this game is about 4 hours-ish. So what I'm gonna do is play the game, read it. It's a visual novel, like I said, so it's just a book. You make decision trying to hook up with a girl, and depending on how she feels about you and your decision, she'll either hate you or want you to put your hand in her panties. So, with that in mind, we are going ahead and trying this game. Now, this is fairly simple, like I said, to do. Not much to go around as to click on the text and answer question. So I'm gonna try to make this a little more entertaining as if I can, trying to include you guys in the story. So as far as I'm concerned, this main character doesn't have a name, so I'm gonna refer to him as you the viewer. Ain't that a twist? Nobody saw that coming a mile away. And this is the part where, oh, he does have a name. Okay, never mind. Okay, we're gonna call him you the viewer anyway. You came. Is reading, well, my reading's a little rough. Excuse me as I try to fix this. Before we continue, I could have put that on my gaming channel, which I also have one, but since this is, like I said, a visual novel, it doesn't really reply as a game, and it's more it's more animated. Let me start it again. It's more anime content-ish, so I felt it was more convenient to be put on this channel instead. Anyway, carrying on. Hesitating, barely audible question. However, I recognize the owner of that dainty voice instantly. I feel my heart skip a beat. It's a voice I've listened to hundreds of times, but never as more than an eavesdrop to a conversation, because you're a stalker. I turn to face this voice, the voice of my dreams, and my heart begins to race. Oh, I don't know if I have my mouse on the cursor. Well, I can hide it. I'm gonna put it in that corner so we don't see too much of it. Hiwanako, I got a note telling me you wait here. It was yours? Damn it, I spent all afternoon trying to come up with a good line, and that was the result. Pathetic. I should have brought water. Oh, that's gonna suck. Yes, I've asked friends to give you that note. I'm so glad you got it. Do I have to do girl voice? I probably should. Makes it more lively. A shy joyous smile that makes me so tense I couldn't move a single muscle even if I tried. Ta-dum, ta-dum. My heart is pounding now, as if it were trying to burst out of my chest and claim this girl for itself. So, here we are, hot and cold. Once again the wind stirs up the branches, the cacophonous noises and the music to my ears. Hiwanako flinches ever so softly, against the gust of the winds. I put words where there's no words, and sometimes I forget stuff. I'm not good at reading, so that's why there's text on it. You guys can read as well. I'm not gonna do all the work, am I? Am I? As it passes, she lights herself, as if supported by some new confidence. Her eyes lock with mine, and she lazily twirls on her long dark hair along her fingers. All the while, the anxious beating of my heart grows louder. Patam patam. My throat is tight. Just like her pants? I doubt I could ever force a word out if I tried. You see? Patam patam. I wanted to know. Patam patam patam. If you'd go out with me. I stand there motionless, save for my pounding heart. I want to say something in reply, but my vocal cords feels like they've been stretched beyond their breaking point. Hisao? Well, no, scratch that. We're gonna call him you. Fuck it. You? I reach up to try and massage my throat, but this only sends spikes of blinding pains along my arms. You! Patam patam. My whole body freezes, save for my ears. Well, eyes, sorry. Which shoot up open in terror. Patam 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 patam. You! This does not remind me of my dramatic ending. The beating of my chest suddenly stops, and I go weak to the knees. The world around me, the canopy of the bare branches, the dull winter sky, Iwanako running towards me, all these fade to black. The last thing I remember before slipping away are the sounds of Iwanako screaming for help and the incessant clatter of the branch above. And now we get a super opening! Funny thing is, I played the game after I made that ending of Top 10 Most Dramatic. So I was laughing a lot when I started playing this. This game was made by a random company. Well, not a random company, a small company that just started. And they've been working at this for quite a while, so you can really see the work they put into it. Lots of the effects coming from the lights, but it looks pretty, but there's not that much work into it. This have a little more, but it's just a pin on a rotating point, so again, not too big of a deal. You don't see character movings or anything like that. It's pretty, but when you know the gimmicks behind it, it's not all that enticing. It's been 4 months since my heart attack. And the whole time I can probably count the times I've left this hospital room unsupervised on one hand. 4 months is a pretty long time when you're left alone. Why do I sound like Dracula? With your thoughts. So I've had plenty of time to come to terms with my situation. Arrhythmia. A strange war, a foreign alien one. One that you don't want to be in the same room with. Yeah, really, this Dracula accent is really weird. But I like doing that, so I'm gonna keep with that. A rare condition. It caused the heart to act erratically and occasionally beat way too fast. It can be fatal. Apparently, I've had it for a long time. They said it was a miracle that I was able to go on so long without anything happening. Is that really a miracle? Let me start again. Is that really a miracle? It's the same thing. I guess it was supposed to make me feel better, more appreciative of my life. It really didn't do anything to cheer me up. My parents, I think, were hit harder by the news than I was. They practically had 2 hemorrhage apiece. I had already had a full day by then to digest everything. Sorry. To them, it was all fresh. Or flesh, if you speak in Japanese. They were even willing to sell our house in order to pay for a cure. Of course, that isn't a cure. Because of the late discovery of this condition, I've had to stay in this hospital to recuperate from treatments. When I was first admitted, it felt as if I was For about a week, my room in the ward was full of flowers, balloons, and cards. But the visitors soon dwindled, and all the get-well gifts began trickling down to nothing shortly after. I realized that the only reason I had gotten so many cards and flowers was because sending me their sympathy had been turned into a class project. Maybe some people were genuinely concerned, but I doubt it. Even in the beginning, I barely had a visitor. By the end of the first month, only my parents came by on a regular basis. Iwanako was the last one to stop visiting. After 6 weeks, let me catch my breath a little. After 6 weeks, I've never saw her again. Never had that much to talk about when she visited anyway. We didn't touch the subject that was between us on that snowy day ever again. The hospital? It's not really a place I'd like to live in. The doctors and nurses feel so impersonal and faceless. I guess that's because they are in a hurry and they have a million other patients waiting for them, but it makes me feel uncomfortable. For the first month or so, I asked the head of cardiologist every time I saw him for a rough estimate of when I'd be able to leave. He never answered anything in a straightforward way, but told me to wait and see if the treatments and surgery worked. So I hardly observed the scar that those surgeries have left on my chest slowly changed its appearance over time, thinking of it as some kind of an omen. I still ask the head of cardiologists about leaving, but my expectations are low enough now that I'm disappointed anymore when I don't get a reply. The way he shuffles around the insert shows that there's at least some hope. At some point I stopped watching TV. I don't know why, I just did. Maybe it was the wrong kind of escapism for my situation. I started reading instead. There was a small library at the hospital, although it was more like a storeroom for books. I began working my way through it. It's really hard to do that voice. I began working my way through it, one small stack at a time. After consuming them, I would go back for more. I found that I liked reading it, and I think I even became a bit addicted. I started feeling naked without the books in my hand. Now I can space instead, no mouse. But I loved the stories. That's what my life was like. The day became increasingly harder to distinguish from each other, differing only by the book I was reading and the weather outside. It felt like time blurred into some kind of gooey mess I was trapped inside, instead of moving with it. A week could go by without me really noticing it. Sometimes I'd pause in a realization that I didn't know what day of the week it was. But other times, all the things that surrounded me would painfully crash into my consciousness through the barrier of nonchalance I had set up for myself. The pages of my book would start to feel sharp and burning hot, and the heaviness in my chest would become so hard to bear that I had to put the book aside and just lay down for a while, looking at the ceiling as if I was going to cry. But that happened only rarely, I swear. I'm not a girl. I don't cry. And I couldn't even cry. See? Told you. I don't know the script. Just mentally, man. Today the doctor comes in and gives me a smile. He seems excited, but not very. It's likely he's trying to make an effort to be happy on my behalf. My parents are here. It's been a few days since I've last seen them. Both of them are even sort of dressed up. Is this supposed to be some kind of special occasion? It's not a party. It's never a party when you're living in the hospital. There is this ritual the head cardiologist has. He takes his time, sorting his papers, then setting them aside as if to make point of pointlessness of what he just did. Then he casually sits down on the edge of the bed next to mine. Your edge of the bed? What does mine refer to? Next to me? Whatever. He looks me in the eyes for a moment. Hello, you. How are you today? I don't answer, but I smile a little back at him. I believe that you can go home. It's the doctor speaking. It's another vampire. Your heart is stronger now, and with some precaution you should be fine. We have all your medication sorted out. I'll give you further the prescriptions. The doctor hands a sheet of paper to my dad, whose expression turns wooden as he reads it quickly.
So many!
I take it from his hand and take a look at myself, feeling numb. How am I supposed to react to this? Benbutolol. Lol. Dyspnea. The absurdly long list of medications start black at me. From the paper seems insurmountable. They all blend together in a sea of letters. Visions 125 milligrams of 12 hours. This is insane. Side effects, adverse effect, contradiction, and dosage are listed lines after line with cold precision. Not prescription. It is a prescription though. I try to read them, but so futile. I can't understand any of it, attempting to only make me feel sicker. All this for the rest of my life? Every day?
I'm afraid this is the best we can do.
At this point, I'm mixing my voices now.
However, new medication has always been developed, so I wouldn't be surprised to see it less faded over the years.
Years? What kind of confidence boost is that? And have felt better if he hadn't said anything at all.
Also, I've spoken with your parents, and we believe that it would be the best if you don't return to your old school.
What?
Please, calm down, you. Listen to what the doctor has to say.
Calm down? The way he says it tells me he knew full well that I wouldn't like it. Am I going to be homeschooled? Whatever of my concert shows, it is ignored.
We all understand that your education is paramount. He has so many voices, this guy is crazy. However, I don't think that it's wise for you to be without supervision. At least not until we're sure that your medication is suitable. So I've spoken to your parent about a transfer. It's a school called Yamaku Academy. It specializes in dealing with disabled students.
Disabled? What am I?
It has a 24-hour nursing staff. It's only a few minutes from a highly regarded general hospital. The majority of the students live on the campus. Think of it as a boarding school of sorts, except no art, just sick people. It's designed to give students a degree, not in art, just in sickness, of independence, while keeping help nearby.
Independence? It's a school for disabled kids. Don't try to disguise that fact. If it was really that free.
Starting again?
If it was really that free, there wouldn't be a 24-hour nursing staff, and you wouldn't make a hospital being nearby a selling point.
Of course, that's only if you want to go, but your mother and I are really able to homeschool you. We went out there and had a look a couple of weeks back, and I think you'd like it.
It looks like I really don't have a choice.
Compared to the other art problems, people with your condition usually tend to live long lives. I think that was his first voice. You need a job one day, and this is a good opportunity to continue your education.
This isn't an opportunity. Don't call it an opportunity. Don't call it a goddamn opportunity! Sorry. I'm about to transform into a vampire. Well, you should be excited. Oh no, it's the other guy.
Well, you should be excited at the chance to go back to school. I remember you wanted to return to school. Well, it's not the same one. It's the school. Special school, that is.
Oh, was it you? It doesn't matter. An insult. That is what I want to say. It's a step down.
It's not what you think.
Fucking voice.
All of the students are there. Pretty active in their own sort of way. It's geared towards students that can still get around and learn, but just need a little help in one way or another. Wink wink hand job.
Your father's right. No, that's the other guy.
And many of the graduates of the schools have gone on to do amazing things. A person doesn't have to be held back by their disability. One of my colleagues in another hospital is a graduate.
I don't care. A person doesn't... It feels like more Batman now. A person doesn't have to be held back by their disability. That's what disability is. I really hate that something so important was decided for me. What can I do about it? Normal life is out of the question now. It's funny, I had always thought my life was actually kind of boring, but now I miss it. I want to protest. I want to blame the lack of reaction on shock, fatigue. I could easily yell out something now, something about how I can go back to the school. But no, I don't say anything. The fact is, I know it's futile. I look around the room, feeling very tired of all this. The hospital, doctors, my condition, everything. I don't see anything that would make me feel any different. There really isn't a choice. I know this, but the thought of going to this old school, what are those even like? As much as I try to put a positive spin on this, it's very difficult. But let me try. A clean slate isn't a bad thing. That is all I can think of to get me through this. At least I still have something, even if it's a special school. It's something. It's a fresh start, and my life isn't over. It wouldn't be a mistake to just resign myself to thinking that. At the very least, I'll try to see what my new life will look like. Yay, and this concludes the intro. I think that was chapter 1. Hey, look, it's you. You, as in Y-U-U, and not Y-O-U? Y-O-U. Alright, so I'm gonna call it a quit for this this first part, and if you guys like it, I'm gonna keep doing that with my stupid Dracula voice. And I hope you like it, because I kind of have fun doing that. So I'll see you guys next part. See you guys later.